Oh, just started this morning really good because I had to renew our insurance of the house, and we wanted to change the insurance providers. We had really good experience with AXA, really quick and yeah, just very professional. And this morning I managed to do the whole conversation and everything in French. That was really cool. It just helps so much when you sit across the table from someone. You can look them in the eyes and they're happy to talk slowly. Yeah, it just works, you know. Oh, I'm pretty happy with myself actually at the moment. Did the whole thing in French. Unreal. Good morning, my dear YouTube friends. Monday morning. I already got a lot of comments on the video I posted yesterday, especially the part where I'm complaining about the French complaining and striking. There were a few comments that I really took to heart. They said that France is the country it is because of people complaining and not accepting circumstances. And this is the country you love, so don't complain about it. Yeah, that's an interesting point of looking at it. Maybe that's very true. I just compare France a bit with other northwestern European countries where social benefits are really good and education and healthcare are really well arranged, where people don't strike so much. But maybe it's just what France needs. It's a different culture. I never looked at it in that way, but yeah, maybe that's very true. Anyway, I am going to try to keep politics out of this channel. Don't want to get myself tied up in all kinds of discussions about it. It's not what this channel is about and not what I want. Today we are going to continue. First I'm going to have my breakfast, and then I'm going to install a rain gutter in the back of the house, the little house, as many of you have recommended. And don't tell me I never listen to you, because I do. I'm going to install a rain gutter to evacuate the water. It's going to be running through a pipe onto the street, which is okay. Yeah, let's just get started with that. Now, breakfast first, then the rain gutter. Talk to you later. See, the thing is, the thing is that these roof rafters are not all equal in length, and also the angle that they're sawn off is not always vertical. So, as I'm installing these brackets on the roof rafters, the result of how straight this gutter is going to be depends on the way the rafters are sawn off. Now, I'm only putting this up to reduce the amount of water that comes on the ground here during the winter, because I have to remove this gutter anyway in order to finish the roof properly. A plank here, a plank there. I need to sand and treat the the wood behind it. Eventually all these tiles come off, and I will replace all those slats that the tiles are laying on, and add another layer of a plastic layer so that water really can't get in. I'm happy for the roof to be here over the winter, but next winter, next summer, I will make a lot of improvements here. So yeah, it's not 100% straight, and I can bend it, and you know, but what's the point really? Right, so that job is something I can't finish today. Why? Because I need parts to make it decent, and I gotta go back 15Ks. I don't feel like doing that today. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna make a difference. I don't know how much, but it's definitely going to make a difference. Yeah. But don't forget the humidity in the wall. There was a huge, there was a pile of dirt up to here, at this level. The dirt came, and there was a tree growing here. These dislodged tiles, roofing tiles, is because there was a tree here. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that there was a lot of humidity here. Yeah, and it's just taking a while, but it'll come out. It'll come out. Okay, to be continued tomorrow. Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption, but I have something to say. You're watching now a re-edited, reconditioned episode of This Old French House. The episode that you're watching right now happened in the past. In fact, the house that we are rebuilding is basically finished right now, and it is up for sale. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sell it. Nadia and I have other plans. We are going to move to Nadia's mother country on the other side of the world. We can't have two houses at this moment. So yeah, the house is up for sale, and you know what? I really want you to buy it. The viewers of this channel should buy it. Not somebody who's never seen this channel before. So please see my email address below. If you want to have more information, write me a short email and I'll send you all the information you need to make an informed decision. Or an appointment to come by and have a look at the house. Thank you guys. Back to the video. Je vous prends une beignet, s'il vous plaît.
Cuit ou cru?
Pardon? Cuit.
Oui.
Oui, s'il vous plaît.
Il est vilain.
C'est petit poussé, il est
Oui. Il est vilain.
Funny guy. Oh, apple beignet. Might not have scored a lot of brocante on this market, but definitely has scored the best apple beignet I've ever had in France. Really good.
C'est la tome plus chère, après t'as la tome mix. 50 € la photo. 07 89 03 49 10.
Moutarde, s'il vous plaît.
Est-ce que je vous mets des petits oignons avec?
It's a beautiful day for varnishing. Sunny today, not too hot, but it's a job I should have done weeks ago, probably months ago. Anyway, I'm doing it now. Now, a number of episodes back, I explained to you that I never try to save money. Well, yeah, I don't really go for bargains when it comes to glue, sealant, paint, varnish and tape. This masking tape has been sitting here for 3 months, 2 or 3 months. Yeah, hot, cold, rain, everything, and you'll see what a difference it makes in having using a good proper quality masking tape versus a cheap one. See, you'll never be able to pull it off like that with a cheap one. For some reason the camera just stopped recording just now. You haven't missed much. I just cut the pipe to size with the angle grinder. You know what? I have these brackets. They go onto the pipe and you drill a hole in the wall, stick them in, fill it up with what I use epoxy putty, but I think I'm not going to put them on. Reason being that I have to take this all apart when I start doing the outside of the little house next year. Well, after the winter. And I would have to take them out, and this all sits, it holds itself in place. I can secure it with a few bricks here and there, but I mean, have a look, it just sits, you know, there's not really a lot of pressure coming onto it. it's just this is all going to be rearranged anyway. I mean, one of the first jobs I want to do after we come back from work is with a mini digger dig all this garden off, and then the whole plumbing or water evacuation situation will be changed. So this is just a temporary fix. The thing is, I have to use a lot of the epoxy glue if I wanted to stick them in, because we're right here on the corner of the wall, and there's really not much holding it in place anyway. So I don't really see the benefit unless I do it with epoxy glue. But then I have a big challenge once I start doing everything up next season. You know, I might even have to grind them off and remove them altogether, because I wouldn't be able to render behind them. This is how far the pipe sits from the wall. This is how far the bracket would sit from the wall. I could remove the pipe, but the bracket would be left in place, and then I would have to render behind the bracket. See, that's really not a lot of space for me to move my trowel. Yeah, I would have to grind those brackets off and install new ones. And this is just sitting, you know. I mean, this is not going anywhere. There's not any forces going to work on this pipe. I think I'm gonna leave it for now. Yeah, I really don't see any benefit. Let me just take my water spirit level to see whether the last section of pipe is actually going downhill. I could still adjust that. Yeah, that's clearly going downhill. And water will just flow out onto the street. And mind you, it's not gonna be a whole lot of water, huh? The roof is just small. It's, what is it? 4 by 3 or so. Yeah, 4 by 4 maybe. 16 square meter. Yeah, this I'm gonna leave it with this. Yeah. There's nothing really that's going to happen with it. Right, cool. Yeah, let's wrap up this job for now. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy actually that it was so easy to find these zinc gutters. I didn't know. Not familiar with them at all, but they're beautiful, huh? It's just a whole different look than PVC or what have you these days. I have just received 3 vermiculite panels. As you can see behind the chimney pipe, because the wood was getting really hot there, really almost too hot to touch, and did not feel comfortable about that. So temporarily I had some rock wool behind it, but I've ordered these what do you call them? Vermiculite. Yeah, panels. They appear to be. They're good for insulation, I know, because I used to make jewelry, and when you solder, say silver, then you use one of those plates on your worktop with the flame on it, nothing happens. I think it's basically a replacement for what do you call it? Asbestos. Asbestos is not used anymore because of it can cause cancer. Huh? So yeah, they're standing now free. I'm gonna just glue them on. Apparently, I did look a little bit into it on online, and apparently you can't just use any kind of glue you would use for wood. I'm just gonna stick them on with Polymax. I'm using a transparent Polymax just because it's open and it will go off eventually. It's just too bad that it's really warm for the time of year. Because I don't need heating at all, and this little fire stove heats up this little house so quick, and it becomes really hot. And I still have to learn how to temper the heat coming out of it, reducing the heat, playing with the amount of fuel you put in and the air, oxygen you let in. A little bit faster. Honestly, the best tool ever. And I've become quite a fan of Polymax. It's good stuff. Nah, I guess next week or so, before I go off to work, hopefully it will be a little bit colder and I can fire up the stove and see how this is working. That will make a difference, but maybe I need some more panels, I don't know. Yeah. So that's all behind the non-insulated pipe. Obviously that's where it got the hottest, but I might have to add paneling, I don't know. Yeah, that's it for now. We'll test it out soon enough, I hope. Good morning. Thursday morning, 10:30, 10:35. Today I'm gonna do my last real job in the house before I'm off. And that is going to be staining the kitchen worktop. Yeah, this afternoon I will fly off to Montenegro to visit Nadia. Then I will return somewhere next week, and then I will do paperwork and all kind of stuff like that. Study a little bit and prepare for my job. I probably will make another video next week, but that won't include any jobs that I'm doing. It will be more talking about the financials and life in France, and maybe some Q&A from the comments I received from you over the past months. Yeah, last job, staining the top. I didn't do that straight after I installed it. The reason why was that I was gonna oil it, and oil takes a few days to dry in. So I thought, you know, let's just wait until right before I leave for 4 days to Montenegro, to Nadia. And then I'll do it straight before I leave so that it can dry over time while I'm not here. And I made a mistake. Yeah, I made a mistake. I bought this stuff, Brou de Noix, and wrongly I assumed that it was an oil, a colored oil, an oil that makes this wood look more like noix, nut, walnut. It's not an oil. It's actually just a pigment, it's a paint, it's I don't know, I call it liquid, and I just, while having my breakfast, I thought, let's just translate the instructions on it, and I translated them with the Google app, and it turns out that your countertop must be completely degreased, and after applying that stuff you can oil it. Stain it with an oil, with a linseed oil, as I've done with the ladder. Yeah, that was wrong. I should have read the instructions, and I should have stained it before, and then today I could have treated it with linseed oil. Anyway, well, maybe I don't know how fast it dries, so maybe I can even put some linseed oil on it today. That would be ideal. Anyway, yeah, reading the instructions and not assuming things, always dangerous to assume things. Right, well, let's just carry on. Taping off the sink, taping off the stove, and somehow masking the wall on the back, and then carefully brushing it on, I guess. Now, let's see how that's going to turn out. Yeah, it stains the wood in a very sort of natural way, right? It looks pretty natural, and I reckon later with a coating, maybe even 2 coatings of linseed oil on it, it will look pretty cool. Trying to vamp up some fairly cheap wood and make it look like it's something that it's not. Oops. Oopsie daisy. It's not too bad, it comes off. But I gotta be more careful there. And everybody learns in a different way. And the way I learn is by doing it wrong first, making mistakes first. It's a very inefficient way of learning things. But unfortunately I'm not too academic. But yeah, what do you do? I reckon this will soak in within an hour, and I can stain it with oil. Kind of like it. It's not bad. Maybe put on a second coat even. Yeah, it really is like an ink. It's like a watercolor painting almost. It's quite interesting to work with. I think this will look cool with once it's really soaked in and with a coat of oil. The oil doesn't make it really glossy, but it sort of creates depth or so. I don't know. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It's interesting working with this. It's really like what you call watercolors. A watercolor painting in English, aquarelle. We call it in Holland. It's you can sort of direct where the Brut de Noir is going, but eventually it'll do what it wants. It's sort of, I guess, like having children, you know, you can sort of point them in the right direction, but eventually they have to do it, I guess. I never really had kids, as far as I know. Really wouldn't mind changing those cupboard drawer faces, but yeah, if I do that in wood, the place gets so small. You know, we'll leave him white. We'll leave him white. No, this already looks a lot better. It's gonna be tiles, huh? That backsplash. Eventually, some nice French pattern, countryside pattern. Oh, just let this sit, and then a coat of linseed oil. You can almost not see it, the oil. Yeah, it really needs 2 coats. You can preserve wood with all kinds of oils, but linseed oil dries. You could preserve it with olive oil if you wanted to, but it'll stay greasy and sticky over time. Now, if you're a smart guy, you would have done the back side first. Because now I'm struggling not to touch the forward side of the worktop, lean against it, you know. And that's why I always say I'm not really a smart guy, because sometimes, or actually quite often, I get just too caught up with the work in itself, instead of just analyzing things and then getting started with the work. Yeah, that's why I say I need to make mistakes in order to learn. Otherwise I just don't learn. And this is the shelf inside the cabinet. Well, you know, I can afford to really give it a thick coat, because I'm going away for what, I think 5 days. So yeah, that'll dry. Okay, that's it for this week, really. That oil is gonna sit and be absorbed by the wood, and the surface will dry, and then that shelf or that countertop is properly protected. Cool, that's it for this week. I am going to take a shower, pack my bag, and head to the airport. Next week, this is really the last job, because next week I'm just going to tidy up the garden a little bit, drive one more time to the tip, and I'll do my accounting finally really making the calculations of what this operation here has costed. There's still plenty of things to do in the little house, but you know, we can live in here in reasonable comfort. And next year, when we start with the work again, we can focus on the garden and on the other two houses that form part of this property. Yep, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for commenting, for subscribing. When you comment, I will do my best to reply, at least to show you that I noticed your comment. For now, once I'm at work, once I'm at sea and only in port, only with internet connection once a week, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to do that. But for now, I will still reply to your comments, or at least show that I've seen them and appreciate them. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, and I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.